guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is Shay Michelle, and I am so excited to do this video. Basically, this video is about how to ace anatomy your first go around. Too long, don't read. I'm here to show you guys the program Anatomy Bootcamp, because this has been the best study source I've come by and have been able to utilize for myself in order to study anatomy. Any type of health students can use it, whether you're dentistry, you're medical, honestly, even if you're an undergrad, you know, and you're taking an anatomy course, you can use this and be able to study everything so efficiently with so many resources at the touch of your hands. I also have a 50% off code if you were to upgrade your membership. That is below and also going to be linked below and everything. So make sure you use that. And then kind of my third main point is, if you can't see, this video is sponsored. However, this is my first sponsored video because I wanted to wait for a source that I honestly use myself. I think that this is by far, there's so many options on this website and I just have so many words, and I'm kind of very excited to show you guys all of the different things available on this website that you can use. Stay tuned so that I can do a walkthrough and showing you guys exactly how to use this resource to its fullest capacity, because there's so much on this website, and ultimately see why it's worth your investment. Now we're just going to turn and begin this walkthrough. First, I'm on the website as if I just approach the website for the first time. You can see one of the main things is Ace Your Anatomy class, and so we're just going to say start studying with Anatomy Bootcamp. I'm going to be speaking mostly about gross anatomy, but as you can see, there's so many resources. You have anatomy and physiology, you have gross anatomy, you have neuroanatomy, histology, and embryology, and they're honestly continuously expanding. By the time you see this video, there may be so many more resources at your disposal. So we're going to go to gross anatomy, and then within gross anatomy, one thing I really love about this resource is the way that they order all of the options you have. So if we look at the top, kind of where my mouse is, you see gross anatomy videos, identify structures, lecture style questions, atlas, and practical exams. And one thing I like about this is I feel like it's sequential to your learning. In all honesty, you know, first you want to watch videos, then you want to do a little practice, identifying structures, and then lecture style questions, and ultimately go to your practical exams. Just to go even deeper is that Anatomy Bootcamp actually has hundreds of bite-sized review videos that cover all subjects of anatomy, okay? All of the high-yield subjects. If you looked at one of my last vlogs, one of the last tests I had was on the heart, so we're just going to do this, a tutorial for the heart. I have all of these videos. You know, you have pericardium and sinuses, left atrium and bicuspid valve, but basically imagine to the left atrium. Basically imagine all of this content for everything in regards to the heart and every high yield subject that's covered in anatomy. Going back to the main page we were just on, as you can see, we have all of these options in this kind of like second tier. So I'm on the thorax just because I want to show you guys the heart since I just took my test for it. But you see you have upper limbs, back, lower limbs, head and neck. You literally have every single component of gross anatomy if you're at any course for absolutely any type of curriculum. And just imagine all the videos. You can also see, they tell you the total runtime, so that tells you how much content they have. For anterior and medial thigh and knee, they have an hour, 42 minutes worth of content. I just feel like everything can be covered, extremely thorough, and you generally won't miss anything. Honestly, if there's anything you don't really understand from your normal courses, this is a great resource to go and get a second look at and get a different way of learning it and seeing what is offered. Another key feature of Anatomy Bootcamp is that they have over 7,000, you heard me, 7,000 practice questions in regards to all of the high yield content and also real cadaver images that go along with these questions. And if you know you're new to anatomy or have taken anatomy, you know this is key. Anatomy tests consist of actually physically seeing the body, you know, being in the anatomy lab or seeing pictures of the body. So you need those real questions. And so we're just kind of going to do a walkthrough again of the heart because I'm kind of having PTSD right now. So you choose an answer, check your answer, got it wrong, right? And so what I really like about this, honestly, is all the options. You can do between learning, reviewing, or mastered, or you can even like pin it or flag it. And so I'm gonna flag this one, right? And I'm just gonna click review, okay? And then you have another question, and you have these options for every single thing. And then say you don't feel like doing a question, you know, you can go forward, you can go back. You can also show the labels. If I just zoom in a tad bit, just get a better view, it'll show you what you're looking at also, because that's a key feature of anatomy. You have to know everything around it, not only the structure you're looking at. So it's kind of cool to get everything in one glimpse. Let's say I go back out of this, in review. A thing I like is, remember I pinned the question or I tagged that question, I can go to review tagged questions, okay? And then it'll just show me the question I tagged. And a piece I really enjoy about that is the fact that you can tag questions for different fields. So I could tag a question in thoracic wall, I can tag a question in lungs, and they'll all be there at the end of the day whenever I feel like reviewing them. One of the most beneficial features, honestly, all of this is beneficial, so I'm saying most, they're all at the same tier, but they have actual practice exams for you to study and get ready for your actual test day. And this is crucial. For someone who's kind of in the midst of anatomy, is kind of like halfway done, I will definitely tell you guys that it's very difficult to get quality practice questions and practice exams. And honestly, just going back to lecture style questions, having those real cadaver images will really make or break your experience, because every body looks different. So to have all of these different opportunities to see different hearts and different lungs and different legs will honestly allow you to really, really know the material more than just that one cadaver that you may be looking at in your course. A good thing about these practical exams is practical exams are hard to come by. They are very difficult to come by. So to have this opportunity and have multiple, have about 3 for each section, that is absolutely amazing. And I honestly wish I had this resource sooner, but I'm so happy to be able to utilize it now as I'm going through these courses. We're just gonna go and begin a practice exam. We can see that it's a full one. There's 50 questions. That's actually even ample, because I know personally for my exams, I only have 30 questions. So to have so many exams and even extra questions than what I normally have, beautiful. Now we're just gonna run through a few questions. So what does this artery originate from? Another thing, remember, is that with these images, you can kind of zoom in, zoom out, do as you please. So we see this artery. I'm just kind of gonna run through these. Got it right. Another super cool feature while I continue to go through these practical exams with you is that there's actually 24-hour TA support that is there to answer all of your questions in real time. Getting kind of like your questions answered can be a struggle. You got to go to office hours. You kind of got to like hopefully have those friends that can answer it, and if you don't, you have to wait to find the teacher after class. There's a whole lot of hoops you have to run through, but with Anatomy Bootcamp, you have that TA support at all times. I'm going to say I have questions or feedback about this explanation. It's going to connect me with an anatomy tutor, right? And then it already says the question I'm looking at, so they know exactly what I'm looking at, and I can ask them my direct question. And there's tutors actually assigned for every single subject, so there's always going to be almost like a specialist for everything you're looking at. In the beginning, I did mention how the format of this is very sequential to one's learning. And so just to even kind of really drive in this point, they actually recently redesigned their site in order to benefit students like us. It's more user-friendly, and I think it's extremely, straightforward. I will say again that this is the absolute best anatomy resource I have come by. I personally use it myself. This will ultimately help you on your next anatomy exam, because it's going to give you just so many resources, and there's so much. So again, it'll give you these real cadaver images that are needed, because that's what you're seeing on your test, whether it's actually in person or via online. You're getting those real images or that real body. And two, it's giving you a variety of images, because if you're working in the lab like I am, I'm looking at one cadaver predominantly. And so to be able to have a source where I can look at, different bodies and different structures, everything looks different on everybody. We all don't look the same on the outside, and we also don't all look the same on the inside. And so to have this opportunity to, you kind of look at everything in different points of views in different lights is also invaluable. And ultimately to have the access to 7,000 practice questions in addition to a multitude of practical exams, that in itself, I just don't know how you'd be more prepared for anatomy. If you are interested in this resource or have any type of questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Feel free to email me. If you want to upgrade your membership, I have the code linked below. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I am sweating. Oh my God. I look so glossy, but I'm going with it.